Hello, David again here, aka Linesider. Today I'm at Greenholm on Shap on a beautiful late October day, and my plan is to film 34067 Tangmere using my drone. So come along if you like and see what I get up to, and I'll share my thoughts and experiences as I go. So as I mentioned, it's a fantastic morning here at Greenholm. It's really bright and sunny at the moment, and it's the first time it's felt properly cold this autumn, so there should be plenty of smoke today, which is great. And I'm just going to start by actually walking up to the viaduct and taking a look at that. If you've watched my other vlogs, you'll know I like to have a look at these things in a bit more detail, so let's start off with that. So as I approach the viaduct, we can see that the sun is just starting to hit this side of it, which is great. It's still got an hour and a half and the sun's going to move further around, which will bring it more into sun. Nice interruption there. So in comparison to a lot of railway viaducts, this one's quite a small one, just the 3 arches. It's still pretty big compared to me, obviously. But I always think in the wide open moorlands of Shap it looks a little bit lost. On either side of a viaduct the line is on a long embankment, and so it looks more like a bridge from further away, but still a fine structure, and good to see it at close quarters. In terms of Shap Bank, the one in 75 gradient starts about half a mile south of here, so the engine should be working nice and hard at this point. There will be a diesel on the back as well, so it's more of a top and tail arrangement. And one of the reasons I'm actually using the drone today is because I'm not particularly interested in the performance. These workings are well known for being heavily diesel assisted. If this was a pure steam working, I'd rather be somewhere closer in, more dramatic, where you get a sense of how hard the engine is working, whereas here it's more about getting the landscape, hopefully some sunshine, and a very pleasant scene from Shap, rather than those sort of classic front three quarters Eric Tracy style shots. Not that I'm comparing myself to Eric Tracy, you do understand, but those sorts of shots that Shap is so famous for. And this is Birkbeck itself, from which the viaduct takes its name. There's a confluence just a little way to the west of here where Breathedale Beck joins it, and this flows generally southwards to connect with the River Loon and ultimately to the sea at Lancaster and Morecambe Bay. And you might be thinking, why has he got a tripod? He's using the drone. Well, for a plan B, in case I can't use the drone, there's lots of reasons why I might not be able to. It always concerns me. It looks like I'm heading for a crucifixion or something when I see a shadow of me and my tripod. It's not the best look. So back to the relative shelter of these Scots pine trees. I say relative shelter, it's definitely more sheltered by the viaduct, but obviously I can't film there. I'm just weighing up what to do here exactly, because the wind is pretty strong. It may be too strong to actually use the drone. I can get a ground-based shot, so I think I will be using the tripod to do something on the ground. It's nice to get a couple of shots anyway, just in case. Gives you more options in the edit afterwards. I've got about 50 minutes now until the train's actually due, so I just need to take stock and decide what to do. So this is an ideal place to fly a drone, big wide open space. I can make sure there's no other people around and keep a good line of sight on the drone at all times. So despite planning a drone shoot today, there's actually a nice ground shot to be had here, the one I'm stood in at the moment. You can just see the footpath there to my left shoulder, your right as you're looking at it, and that's presenting quite a nice lead-in line to the viaduct, so I'm going to set that up first and then decide what to do with the drone. So I've just checked real-time trains, and the train is running 12 minutes late at the moment. With that in mind, there's a good chance he may be looped at Greyrig, so maybe even later than that by the time he gets here. This is all crucial because you get about 25 minutes of battery life with the drone, so if I was to get it up in the next 10 minutes in anticipation of it arriving at its due time, there's a good chance I would need to actually bring it down before it actually arrived. So this is another drawback to having a drone. Obviously you don't have this problem on the ground with the ground shots at all, so I need to weigh this up as we get closer to the actual time it appears. And it should be quite obvious, it's pretty windy. I think it's too windy to fly the drone, to be honest. Yeah, I think it's going to be a ground-based shot only here. Hey ho. So yeah, I've made the call. I think it is just too windy. I'm not going to risk it, and I think that's the right thing. You know, there'll be other opportunities to use it, and that's great. It's one less thing to worry about. Doing a vlog, filming a ground-based shot here. Sorry, I'll have to call this video not using a drone to film a steam train. So that's the drone going away for another day. Should also apologise for the side lighting in this video. There are some, from what I can see on the screen, some slightly scary images of half my face lit and half of it not. But you know, Halloween's not far away, so very much in keeping with that time of year. If this was a special working that I was really bothered about, I would not be here doing this. I probably would move on to somewhere else where I can get a much longer running pan sequence, etc. But as it is, as the weather is as it is, that 15 to 20 seconds should still be a very nice video that can fit nicely in the context of other shots I've got on Shap, rather than something I would put up to, say, YouTube and say, hey, Tangmere, Greenholm today, look at this. People say, oh, 15 seconds, what a load of rubbish. So I have to view it in that context of it being part of a bigger project, really. And as much as anything, lovely to be out today, lovely to feel the fresh air, and looking forward to seeing the train and hopefully getting a nice 15-second shot. Short and sweet, but sometimes that's what it calls for. So that's it, as expected, just a short 15 to 20 second shot, but the sun stayed out, which is fantastic, and it's just brilliant to see the colours in the natural form of saturation, if you like, without the grey, murky drizzle that you often get on Shap. I've had so many days like that. It's great to get a shot in these conditions, and hopefully that will inject some beauty into other shots I've got in this area in less favourable weather. Steam photographers, videographers can be very guilty of complaining when the sun comes out after a train has passed, and here we can actually see the opposite phenomenon where the sun has gone in, but it was out when the train came, so happy days. Well, I've packed up and I'm now heading back to the car, and I said at the start of the video it's quite a small viaduct by comparison to others, which is correct, but nevertheless still an impressive structure to look at, and as I mentioned about Arsengill, such a contrast to modern structures we have today, and still doing its job nearly 200 years after it was built. Fantastic. Seen it at its best, really. Pin sharp, crystal clear. See the colours in the stone coming to life. It's such a good day for it, and I've got to say this is a delightful footpath as well. Well drained field, very easy to walk on. Not all grazing is sludging about in mud and battling through brambles. You can get a really enjoyable walk in as well.
So it wasn't the drone shoot I planned, but still very enjoyable, and I hope you've enjoyed it if you've made it this far. If you have, if you could please leave me a like and think about subscribing and hitting the bell notification icon, I would greatly appreciate that. And until the next time, from a windy but very bright Shap, which makes a change, bye for now.